welcome to an Apple a Day. This is your host, Apple here. I hope you all are doing well. As always, we're going to start off with our 5-minute meditation, and then we're going to get into our episode topic. So let's get started. I handle myself with grace and strength. I find myself attractive and amazing. I am a crystal growing deeply in this world. My strength through the darkness makes more facets of light to shine. I am patient with myself as I grow. I deserve all the good in this world. I am worth it. I am strong and fierce. I feel proud of who I am. I am deciding that I belong to myself and no one else. I know that I am physically, mentally, and emotionally safe. I am on a mission to be the healthiest version of myself. I love myself even when I'm working to get stronger and more fit. I know self-love needs to be radical. Cutting cords needs sharp edges. A long-lasting and fulfilling relationship is meant for me. My heart is courageous, kind, and loving. I am gentle with myself even when I make mistakes. I am allowed to evolve. I smile at myself in the mirror because I know how amazing I am. I love myself, respect myself, and accept myself exactly as I am. I exude capability, confidence, and efficiency. I am proud of how I talk to myself when I wake up in the morning. I radiate love. I am shedding layers to reveal a better me. I am confident and capable of what I do. I am a big fan of myself. I am imperfect and love myself at the same time. I deserve to let calm take over my emotions. I give myself compassion as I stretch, grow, and learn. Today, I am worthy of love. I love and accept my body. I love and accept myself unconditionally. I am so proud of my achievements, and there are many more to come. I deserve happiness and abundance in every part of my life. I am kind and loving to myself. I take care of my mind, body, and soul. I work on myself every day. I am enough. I am just right. exactly as I am. I accept all my feelings as part of myself. I recognize my own self-worth. I possess a kind and courageous heart. Love of myself is needed to properly express love for others. I set clear boundaries with confidence. And with that, that'll end our 5-minute meditation. So let's go ahead and get into the episode topic. All right, so getting into our episode topic question for this week. So this week's topic question is, 5 years ago today, what or where did you think you were going to be today? So I will say my memory is a little hazy in terms of like where exactly I was 5 years ago today. It is 2023 right now, so it was 2018. I think I had just gotten my bachelor's degree, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I had just got my bachelor's degree in 2018. So I would say even a little bit before that, right? So backstory for my degrees, my bachelor's. I was bachelor's in pre-med before I switched to graduate. So I just went into biology and dropped the pre-med concentration, and still have my chemistry minor, of course. But that is basically like the beginning of like where I'm going to start this off. So 5 years ago today, I was graduating with my bachelor's, and I was thinking, I still wanted to go to med school, still wanted to become a doctor, right? At that, my GPA wasn't the best for my bachelor's. So I was thinking, I would just go and do like post bachelor's degree, or, I think I had already applied to, I'd already applied because I graduated in the fall for my bachelor's. So I had already applied to my master's program in biology at that point. As you guys probably know, I didn't finish my bachelor's or my master's in biology. I eventually ended up switching programs to master's of chemistry, and I finished over there in 2021. But basically, there was actually a lot of stuff that happened 5 years ago today. Probably some of the most traumatic and life-changing things happened 5 years ago around this time. I'm just gonna put spring semester. I dealt with quite a bit. Spring semester. I won't go into that, but just know that like it's kind of interesting how like life parallels, and essentially life which will repeat the same lesson until you learn it. And it's not that I'm doing anything bad or anything like that, but it's just like learning that, there's a difference in how I, initially thought people could be versus finding out how they actually are. And it's always like a hump to like overcome in realization. Um, to know that not everybody is going to be as wholesome, as genuine, as kind as me. Not everyone's going to have that, same upbringing, the same training that they want to look out for, their fellow human or want to do the right thing just because it's the right thing to do, not because they can gain something from it. Besides that, I did think I was going to be in medical school after my bachelor's, but at the very least, I'd take a year or two, do the master's program, and then apply with that GPA. Obviously, I didn't finish that master's in biology, and I ended up having to switch to master's of chemistry. Or I wouldn't say had to switch. It was just I was there on a preliminary basis for my bachelor's, and then I think I had to get all A's and B's for that semester, and I got a C, I think, in something. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what class it was either. Um, all I remember is I did go in there taking immunology, and I liked immunology, so that's all I can recall for you guys at this moment. But if not, if I had gone to med school, right? Or I would say this: if I didn't rush, quote unquote, right? Because I finished my bachelor's in 3 years. If I didn't rush with doing things and trying to get things done early, then I probably could have, had a better GPA. I wouldn't have been as stressed about stuff. I could have been a lot more involved in school. I've spoken on the podcast before about how now that I'm in pharmacy school, and this is kind of like my last bout of school kind of thing, I really do want to take advantage of the opportunities that I kind of passed up in that sense, because I wasn't as involved in school. I kind of was just, going there to go and to finish and to get the degree. And it's like, yeah, you have the degree to show for it. And I did make really good friends there and I did learn a lot. But I don't have an attachment to my school. I don't have attachment to those experiences. And I feel like I should, to a certain extent, have, this is just based off of what I feel like, what I've seen other people have and go through. They have an attachment to their school or alma mater or some way, form, or fashion because they actually enjoyed it there. I didn't really enjoy stuff like I'm enjoying it now, right? I feel I feel very strongly that I'm where I need to be at this point, right? And I didn't necessarily feel that in my old school. It was just, as I said, I kind of just felt like I was there, I was getting my degree. And I did, I was involved to an extent with some things, but not nearly as much as I am involved in organizations at my school now. And I appreciate the growth that it took to be able to do those types of things, because I was a very, very scared and shy girl, and to an extent I'm still shy, but I feel like I'm not as scared anymore, because before I would be scared and I would let that stop me from doing anything. I was just I'm scared, not gonna do it, whatever, right? What's really changed now is that a lot of times when I'm scared of something, I kind of confront it so that I don't have to be afraid of it anymore. And a lot of that was like, social interactions in general, just, finding, you know, my people, finding people that are going to, appreciate me for who I am through and through. And I don't have to think twice about like what they think about me. And I would say that's like one of the biggest aspects of growth that I've had. Um, just in general, because as I'll mention a little bit later, um, I'm getting back to where I was before. More on that later. Um, so as I was saying, educationally wise, med school, right? I thought that I was going to be getting my doctorate in neuroscience, to become a neurosurgeon, um, or doctorate in neuroscience to do academia, or med school to be a neurosurgeon. Those things did not work out. I also thought, if I'm going to be going to academia, or I'm going to be going to, med school or whatever, I'm going to go to Harvard. That did not occur. We're not there, obviously. Um, but I do appreciate where I where I aimed. I aimed high because of like what I wanted to do. And I think one of the aspects that is good about me aiming for Harvard is that I aim to be, the best. And, saying Harvard's the best or whatever, that's an opinion. Um, I think what makes something the best is, as a lot of times people have said here, is that you basically get in what you put in. And I feel like because I put in so much here, the payoff has been way greater. And I feel like I could have done that no matter where I went. And I'm, doing it here. So I know that that's, proof of that. Um, Relationship or love life, right? So I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast before. I don't recall, but I was engaged before, out of high school, and I was in a relationship that I thought it was gonna be like the relationship I was gonna have. I thought that was I was kind of set. Um, Planned to be engaged. Um, we were engaged out of high school, so I planned to like get married at like 24, which would be when I would be finishing my master's program, right? I was finished with my master's program, but I think I was finished before 24 because I was finished before 24 because I started pharmacy school at 24. Um, but I thought I'd be married. I'd be going on year 2, or like would be like we'd have like 1 year married kind of thing, but I would have been in like a long-term relationship for almost 10 years. Not 10 years, I mean almost 10 years. It'd be like 8, right? That's kind of crazy to think about, like how you had planned to spend your life with somebody, right? And that person is no longer in your life, and it's even more drastic, more shocking when they're not part of your life in any capacity, because I don't talk to my ex. um, After like we broke up, it was kind of like just, it was like done. I didn't talk to him at all. He actually reached out and he was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "Okay, good." And like that was it. Like, we just don't talk. Don't have a reason to. But I don't hate him. Don't harbor any ill feelings. We've already like we did have a conversation after the fact, But yeah, I don't have any like ill feelings or anything towards him. But as I was like, the main aspect of me bringing this up is just to say that your life could be, you feel like it's so planned out on where you want to go, how you want things to be. And it can just completely go sideways or just completely go in a different direction. And as I mentioned in the last podcast episode, a lot of your choices and how the direction of your life ends up, it's based on very, very small choices. And I do believe that I took a very positive direction. I feel like I've made very good choices up until now in my life. So, like, as I said last episode, I don't have any regrets about anything. Um, for sure, I did not think that I would have as much knowledge as I have now. Like, my brain expanded so much in like even just like the past 2 years, let alone 5. Like, I've grown so much, um, just in terms of just knowledge, and then like in terms of experiences, I did not think I would have the experiences that I've had. Um, Learning about people, places, and things, just in general. I did not think I would have experienced what I've experienced up until this point. I didn't think I would have, the growth um, in this way, I guess. Because there are aspects of me that have known that, like, I will grow in XYZ form, but not necessarily knowing exactly how that change or growth is going to occur. Um, on top of like just everything that I've listed here so far, I really did not think I was going to achieve so much that I have. Um, as y'all know, my birthday uh, passed last year. It's, coming up this year. It's kind of a yearly thing. Um, I I didn't know or think that I would have so much to, be proud of at age 25. Um, I didn't think that I would have those things. And when I say I really did not think that I would, it's even the fact that like I forget about my achievements. Um, they weren't emphasized as much as achievements beyond like the moment that they happen. And when people find out about them, they're like, like, wow, you're like really impressive. And I'm just like, I mean, it's just a thing that I did, it's just a little song, So I think I do still need to grow in the sense that I do need to brag on myself a little bit more, um, at, about myself to myself, because I do often forget, how amazing I am at times and how far I've come and like those achievements and just how the woman that I've become that I am so proud of. Um, those things all occurred because, I went down my own path. I followed my own path and my own way of doing things. Um, that's made me be very, very sure. Even though when I'm doubtful, I'm more sure of doing things within myself because it's something that I chose to do. It's my choice. And, like a lot of people feel like, well, if you choose it, whatever the consequences you have to live with. It's like, yeah. And as I said previous episode, every choice I've made thus far, I don't really have regrets on anything. everything has accumulated to me being who I am at this point. And I have to start believing to myself a little bit more and just start saying aloud a little bit more that, you are amazing. You have gotten through such horrendous obstacles in your life. And, you're still going. You're still strong. You're still smiling. You're still loving. You're still caring. You're still kind. Like, all these things that have happened, and I'm still who I was, right? And as I was saying earlier, I was going to mention what I mean by that, right? My confidence and strength, as I've always believed and as I know, because, I lived through that period of my life, was the strongest when I was a child, right? It's kind of like the unfiltered, the unbothered version of myself that, had a sense of like diligence and what she felt was right. And she was just overall way more confident in herself. She didn't, have the doubts of others weighing her down. She didn't have the doubts or, the insults, the slander, the hate from the world bogging her down. It was just like something, came in one ear and then went out the other. And one of the things that I've been practicing for the past couple years is that for me to be my best self, I need to go back and find my inner child, and I need to feed her because she's been starving. I think that she was the most raw version of myself, but also the most beautiful version of myself. And at times I feel like I did cheat her because I let everyone else's worries worry me instead of just following my gut or following my own feelings about things. And, it's a very proud moment for me to say that, I've been finding her again. I found her. I'm nurturing her. I'm making sure that she's thriving because there's an aspect of when you're a child is the innocence that comes with what you do and how you do things, right? And I personally feel that me finding her lets me get back to that innocence, lets me get back to, before, like the world before hate for myself, before I learned about like the hate, the evils of the world kind of thing. It brings me back to like the cores of people and understanding them, understanding myself and like those interactions. And in that, in finding myself and in finding my inner child, I've, made the best of friends. I've made the closest of connections. I've been the most authentic and raw version of myself again. And as I said before, I'm not afraid like I was. I take things that I'm afraid or scared of and I go and I confront them now. It's so crazy to think 5 years ago, younger me would have never, she could have never even fathomed, being in the positions that I'm in, doing the things that I'm doing and doing them with confidence and with fervor. Like, it is so crazy when you see how much other people's fears and worries can bog you down. And it's not to say, it's a horrible thing. But sometimes people have a tendency to project their fears and their worries onto you. And in my instance and in my case, I took things too much to heart and really let that bother me. But as I said, I'm really proud to say that, that's not a thing that's here anymore. That's kind of a thing of the past. I believe in, trusting your gut, and trusting, your judgment on things. Because I feel like you definitely do know yourself better than anyone else, right? In my personal belief, I believe the only person that knows me better is God, right? So, if none of y'all are that, you don't really know, kind of thing. But yeah, it's been a journey these past 5 years. Definitely would not change a thing. I'm happy to see where I'll be in 5 years from now. The growth that will occur, the woman that I become. I'm really excited to meet her, and I hope that she does well. I hope that she does amazing things, and that she's making a difference, like younger me would have made a difference, and like younger me wanted and prayed to make a difference when she was older. With that being said, we're going to end off the episode with 3 good things. So, my first thing is going to be, this episode topic was really, it's a heavy one for me, especially because, I mentioned I've gone through some pretty traumatic things, very heinous obstacles, but in all honesty, I do believe everything happens for a reason, and it's helped me become a better person. So I would say my reflection upon myself, of my growth, and the appreciation of like who I am and my achievements, that I am something to be proud of. That's always a really good thing. Good thing number 2, I've, I guess, rekindled and repaired some relationships that I thought were lost and broken, and I've gained clarity on aspects of my life that were not clear before. So I would say that'd be number 2. Number 3, as I said before, I'm a lot more involved in my school now, and again, that's something I didn't really think I could do, especially to the extent I'm doing it now. I think it's really, really beautiful when others see my growth and, tell me like how much they see me grown. Because, a lot of times we feel like something like we can't do it until it's done. And, I'm doing it and other people see it, and it reinforces that, I can do those types of things. especially with the friendships that I've made. So I would say those are my 3 good things for this week. I'd like to thank you all so much for listening in. As always, questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for the podcast, be sure to tweet me at an apo a day. That is APO and day with 2 Y's. As always, thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you all have a good week. Have a blessed one. Bye.